Hi everyone, Jenny McKenzie again, and guest. She didn't want to be left out of this one. So this is a way I use to kind of stretch my guacamole dip. I know, especially if I sit down in front of a football game with my husband or something like that, if there's a chip dip, I will just go nuts. So I sort of need a way to stretch it or make it a little less caloric, and this is a really delicious way to do that. It's a guacamole pea dip.
All the ingredients look like all put together. This is just a 12-ounce frozen bag of peas that I thawed and just stuck in a green bowl, a little bit of cilantro, half a lime, about a half a cup of grape tomatoes that I cut into quarters, one really ripe avocado, and that's about a quarter of an onion that I just sort of roughly chopped.
Took a 12-ounce bag of peas that was frozen. I thawed them, put them in the glass bowl. So I'm just gonna put them in the blender. And then after that, it's pretty much just traditional avocado or guacamole ingredients. So this is a really ripe Hass avocado. I'm just gonna cut it like this, all down the center, kind of break it up a bit with the knife. Break it up a little bit. There we go. And then I can usually take the seed out with a knife, so you kind of stab it, and the seed will just kind of pop right out. Put that back there, and then I'm just going to use a spoon, scoop out the avocado into the blender with the peas, because it'll all just blend up really nicely into a dip. So you can just kind of stick it all in the blender. Oops, I'm going to take this out. And then I'm going to take half a lime and just squeeze it right into the peas and the avocado. You want to get the whole thing. You can usually do a pretty good job with your hands. And limes don't have seeds, which is awesome. So you don't have, like with lemons, if you use a lemon, you have to hold your hand there and catch all the seeds, because the seeds can be super bitter. Even if you blend it up in your blender, they can just be really bitter if you accidentally get a seed in there. So that's why I really like to use limes. Plus, everything is green. It all matches that way. Not that it has to. It's just sometimes nice when it works out that way. This is just a small bunch of cilantro I chopped up. I'm going to put in there. This is probably about a quarter of a cup. I don't like a ton of cilantro in there, but a lot of people do. But I just use a little handful. And then I'm just going to take this quarter of an onion that I roughly chopped. I'm going to dump it in there. I'm going to take a little bit of salt, boop, and just squeeze it in. It's good to salt as you go. That way you don't need to add a ton at the end, and you don't feel like you're adding, tons of sodium. All right, I'm going to go grab the bottom of the blender and blend this up so you can kind of see how it all mixes together. So Lily has decided she does not want to be in this bumble anymore. That's okay. So then I just turn this on one and I start to pulse it. Just going to get the bottom, and then all I do is open up the top, and I'm going to put this on high enough, and I'm just going to plunge it. So all the ingredients get mashed into a dip. I think that should do it. Again, I kind of like my guacamole like I like my hummus. I don't like it really textural. So I like everything to be really blended, so you don't get any bits of pea or avocado for that matter. Some people like really chunky guacamole. I don't. I like it all pureed and blended. So this is perfect if you like it that way. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. And oh man, That's it, they're done. I'm gonna pour it into a bowl now. I'm just gonna take my spatula, put the dip into a bowl. Alright, see? That's really green. All mixed up. No big chunks. You especially don't want big chunks of onion. That would be, I don't know, terrible to bite into. You can also use a red onion. Red onions are really pungent, and my husband doesn't care for them much. So I try to use regular onions, but traditionally guacamole dip has red onions, and it can add a great flavor, but again, my husband doesn't like it. You could also add garlic. Again, my husband is allergic to garlic, so I try not to add garlic to mine. You could also use mint leaves. I've done a guacamole with mint. It gives it a cooler, more refreshing taste, but it almost tastes sweet. I don't know. Some people really like it. It definitely adds kind of a different dimension to your guacamole, but I just like it with traditional cilantro and a little bit of salt. Okay, so we put all the dip in, and now I'm just going to take my tomatoes, dump them on top, and I'm going to take a spoon. And I'm just going to kind of fold, I should have used a bigger bowl, oh well. I'm just going to sort of fold my tomatoes in. If you mix it, then you're going to bust the tomatoes, which I guess is okay, but this way just makes a bit of a prettier dip. All right. You just fold all the tomatoes in there, all wrapped up, and then have my chips handy. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't try it. Okay. Just take it. Get a tomato, dip it in. Delicious. You could add a little bit of salt on top if you wanted a saltier dip. Sometimes when I do it just for me, I'll use garlic salt. But my husband doesn't really like garlic, or he's allergic to garlic. So I try not to do that to him. But here you have it. Here's guacamole pea dip, the finished product.